As someone who never played the original Link's Awakening, I was very eager to experience the Game Boy Classic reimagined for the Switch. Link's Awakening has long been a game I've heard
has always been celebrated for its excellence.
So I went into this game expecting a series-defining game, and you know what? I wasn't disappointed. For a game that was essentially an after-school project to test the Game Boy's capabilities, it turned out to be a really unique title in the Zelda franchise. The game borrows heavily from other Nintendo titles with obvious nods to Mario and Kirby. I could see many non-Zelda diehards playing this for the first time with an estranged disposition, wondering why in the hell they're walking a chain chomp like a dog, to which I would say, how dare you have the audacity to question Bow Wow? He is a good pupper and he just wants to play, you plebeian. Despite Link's Awakening's uniqueness, it is still a Zelda game and follows the Zelda formula fairly faithfully. Link finds himself washed ashore on the mysterious Koholint Island after an intense storm at sea. Nursed back to health by a girl named Marin and her father Tarin, Link returns to the beach to reclaim his sword when he is met by a wise owl. The owl tells Link that if he wishes to return to the land he comes from, that he must acquire the 8 instruments hidden in the dungeons across the island and wake the Windfish. Much like earlier Zeldas, this game's plot is pretty straightforward and not really groundbreaking or genre-defining, but is still super charming and enjoyable. The game revolves heavily around the premise of dreams and the mystery and mysticism that's involved with them. This motif of dreams is alluded to throughout the entire game, from foreshadowing and even with the game outright saying that if you wake the Windfish, the dream will end and the islands and all of its inhabitants will disappear forever. It leaves you with this bizarre sense of remorse for waking the Windfish, because the game is so lovable and charming that you just want to stay on Koholint for eternity. But doing so would only cause more nightmares to appear, and eventually the island would be overtaken by them. Waking the Windfish is made more difficult by the relationships you forge with the weird cast of characters in this game. I didn't expect myself to be feeding an alligator a whole ass can of dog food, but here we are, and I couldn't be more thankful for it. The game never takes itself too seriously, even though the threat of the island disappearing is still there, which leaves you with the simple task of just running around and having fun. I found myself constantly grinning like an idiot and just soaking in the atmosphere of Koholint Island. This game has personality and isn't afraid to display it in full force. Every character has their own distinct charm, and I often found myself wandering back around just to see what they were up to. Marin takes a big role in the story and begins to catch the feels for Link, and I mean, who wouldn't? Look at this cute little guy. It reminded me much of the elementary school days when you would play with your crush at recess and was always way too shy to ever say anything, but they were always the one that you tagged when you were playing tag because you just wanted to interact with them in some way. This cute girl who sings and plays with you becomes a reason for you to save the island. She teaches you the Ballad of the Windfish, the integral piece of the puzzle in waking the Windfish. There's even a super cute scene of Link and Marin playing the song together in Animal Village, and it's honestly one of my favorite parts of the entire game. Speaking of music, Link's Awakening has one of my favorite OSTs from any Zelda game, and that's even before I played this game. The soundtrack to this game is the main way I knew about it. Ballad of the Windfish has long been one of my favorite Zelda themes, ever. Every theme in this game is good, and I was singing along to it incessantly. From the calming Mabe, whatever you call it, Mabe Village, we'll go with that, Mabe Village theme to the energized Piece of Power themes. This game has such incredible, memorable music that it seems unfair for Nintendo and Zelda in general to have a monopoly on great game themes. But not everything in this game is sunshine and rainbows. Even for a fully remade game, it has been widely reported that this game has some occasional frame rate issues, and I personally only ever had this happen maybe 2 or 3 times. It was never so jarring as to ruin my experience, but for a $60 game, you would expect it to perform a little better. Another big point of contingency is the game's length. The game is very short. I completed it in around 16 hours, which is rather quick for a Zelda title by today's standards. For those out there that aren't Zelda fanatics, this is going to be a tough decision to make. Time investment on games is a big selling point for many people out there, and if someone was looking to make this their first Zelda experience, they may not come away feeling as satisfied with their purchase as compared to something like Breath of the Wild. The game for me personally proved to be rather inconsistent in terms of difficulty. Now let me preface this is probably all on me and my shitty gaming skills, but most of the bosses and enemies proved little to no difficulty unless you weren't paying attention, and then you get to the final boss and it's like, is this even the same game? I died 4 times to this dude. Granted, some of those were because of my poor planning, but still, you know, that's besides the point. Also, can I just say, fuck this bombable wall in Eagle Tower specifically? Like, For fucking real? Like, I spent so much time looking for what to do next in this temple just for it to be this fucking wall. Ah! Overall, this game is very special to me. As one of the few Zelda games I haven't played, this has been a long time coming for me, and overall I can say that I'm very satisfied with this game, even though that bombable wall is still mildly infuriating days after I've completed it. The beautiful diorama art style and charming atmosphere and characters, fucking 10 out of 10 soundtrack, all make this game a must-play in my opinion. And I didn't even bring up the fact of the animated opening and ending scenes. Like, Nintendo, make the goddamn anime already. I'm tired of waiting. You have the capability. We see that. Link's Awakening has really opened the door for the possibility of future Zelda remakes, and Grezzo has definitely shown that they can make a good remake. They just need to fix those frame rate issues. I really hope we see more games in this style, like maybe the Oracle games or Minish Cap, because those are also some games I have had the displeasure of not playing. Link's Awakening has definitely lived up to its hype that I saw for years, and I would highly recommend purchasing this for any Zelda fan or Switch owner out there. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey, do you want to see me play Link's Awakening? Well, guess what? My whole first playthrough of the game ever is up on my channel right now in a 4-part series of the live streams that I did. You can see me get frustratingly angry at the final boss. But yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Follow me on Twitter at Tyler Townsend XP. Follow me on Instagram at TheTylerTownsend. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, share it with your friends. You know all that fun stuff. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.